Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is for you. I'm Cyclone. This is Let's Play Train Simulator, and I'm going to go ahead and run Granite via Wycon today. Now, you may notice I've already run this scenario, and I have 1,000 points on it. This is a very, very hard scenario to get 1,000 points on. I do have a recording of me successfully doing it, and also not realizing that it was on my screen where I could see it sooner. But I also have another recording of a better, cleaner run where I only had one speeding infraction, and I still only got 991 points on it. So this is a very difficult scenario to get 1,000 points on, and I have some ideas for some things to try to see if we can force a 1,000 point result on us. And I'm not using any cheating software. Obviously, I don't gain anything by doing this. I'm just doing this for recording purposes to see if we can find a way that you can achieve 1,000 points yourself if you're trying to get the score on this scenario. And again, a lot of people don't care about these. There's so many scenarios that you wouldn't want to waste time trying to get 50 points here and there. There's no reason to. You get a ton of experience anywhere else, and the experience doesn't really do anything. It just shows what level you are in the game, and there's not really anything you gain from it. You don't gain an extra set of scenarios because you're a high level. You don't get to level 50 and you unlock a batch of 100 scenarios that are super hard difficulty. No, nothing like that. It doesn't mean anything. It's just for the purpose of trying to show how you can achieve a perfect score in a scenario. And this is a difficult one to do so, and I want to see if I can come up with a strategy that you guys can employ to do that. And I'm going to work on that today. I have something that you really shouldn't be doing in these scenarios, but I'm going to do it. We're going to do it, and we're going to try to make it work. So we're going to go ahead and get into the scenario. We're going to get started, and I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do here. Today you have a run to Granite, but first there's a drop-off and pick-up at Wycon. The tanks from Wycon will be joined with the cars at Granite for an onwards journey. You'll be on and off the main line, so signal vigilance is important. Thanks, Eric. Just about 7905, you're ready to leave for Granite via Wycon. Your westbound slot is after 7981 eastbound stack. Proceed to the yard exit signal and wait until clear. I'm holding here for just a moment because I know what time I need to be at the exit signal, so I'm letting the seconds build up down there. Let's go say hi to Eric. Hi, Eric. Okay, we're going to leave now. Reverser up. I should have done that before putting the throttle on, but we're going to move. So I've let some of the seconds build up, and that's good enough for us right now. Eric's just going to stand here for the rest of the day, it looks like. I think he has some work to do on 5527, maybe. That could be it. Hey, there's a train over there. 7507, full empties. So I'll stop the throttle at about 12.9 right now. I'm going to let it drop a little bit, because we still need a few more seconds. I am going to be gaming this signal up ahead. All of our switches are set correctly, and they start out that way. This is not a case where I've played this scenario multiple times and they just stay set. The switches start out set correctly on this scenario. I'll double check at Wycon to make sure, because I know I've had to play multiple trips through Wycon. And sometimes the switches do stay set for you after you set them, so I'm going to make sure that that didn't happen here because that could cause some problems. So I'm in the proper timing for my exit now, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself up to 15. I got half a mile, and I got about 100 seconds to go, so that's easy math. 20 seconds for every quarter of a mile, or every half a tenth of a mile. I'm going a little bit fast, so I'm just going to let the throttle idle at this point. I seem to be coming back to the speed I want to be at. I'm pretty close to it right now, actually. So I'm just going to keep it in idle for a moment. At this point, it looks like I'm going to get to the signal just as it changes, which is kind of ideal. That train, by the way, is the train that we had to wait for over there. If I bring up the labels, you can see 7891 eastbound stack as advertised. So I can speed up a little bit now. I'm going a little bit slow now, so let's put some speed back on. I might have put too much speed on at this point. This could be problematic. So we're going to watch that signal over there on the left of the three on the ground here. Where those gentlemen are is the signal we're watching. I'm losing a little more speed now than I expected, so I'm going to put the throttle back on. I should be fine at this point, I believe. The signal will change in just a moment. Should be changing in just a moment. There it is. Perfect. You can't do it any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Be a shame if the rest of the run gets screwed up now. So I'm maintaining exactly the speed I want right now. I want to stay in the 15 to 16 range because you can be just over the speed limit and not be dinged for speeding. We're coming into a 20, so I can speed up now. I can get myself up to 20 in a hurry, then I can stay in the 20-21 for a moment. That's good for now. I'm going to move it back up to 19 to 20. I can speed up in a moment. I can go to 30. Don't worry about the 35. We are on a junction. We have to stay at 30. 30 is the junction speed all over Sherman Hill. If you're crossing a junction, you have to go down to 30. Regardless of what the speed limit says, you're expected to know this from the scenarios. There's no actual posting of the junction speed on the HUD. It's something you're just expected to remember. And we're going to crank it up to 40 now. I didn't move it up to 100% because there's no reason to go up to 100% right now. Because we're going to be taking it off very quickly again, as you can see. I'm coming down to 40 already. So throttle completely removed. Let's try to stay above 40 now. Right around 40. Excellent. This is ideal. And I can actually zoom back out and show you the cab at this point. So there's all of our controls. Brake pressure's at 90 to show our brake is not applied. There's our 40 on the HUD. Throttle is at 1. 7905 is our train. And forward is our throttle. We can change that and go into... no, we can't because we actually have the throttle on. So we can't change it from a forward position right now. But if we took the throttle off, we can move it to reverse. It would show there. So we can look ahead. We can see a green signal up ahead. And yeah, there's a second computer over here, but this computer's not on. Oh, did I lag for a second there? I might have seen some lag. Whoopsie. And we just passed under a highway there of some sort. Take the throttle off for a second, and there we go. You can see the 55 sign over there. That's the 55 sign. It's a lot earlier, and it's not on our track. But trust me, it is for our track. I'm going to start speeding up now. There it is. A buggy 55 sign up ahead. Once again, taking the throttle completely off. There we go. Wait for the engine to relax, and then I'm going to go ahead and try and apply a steady throttle. I can do so now. There's going to be a little bit of braking going on in this scenario, so I don't want to use too much of my brakes going into Wycon in case I let too much air out of the pipes. That'd be a bad thing. I do have tricks I'm going to use to slow down quicker anyway, so I don't necessarily have to use a full brake application anyway to slow down. We just passed the yellow, or we're going to be passing the yellow lunar right now, by the way. So this is the yellow lunar signal coming up. That means get ready to divert into a yard. We're going into a yard. Other line is green, but we don't care. This is our Wycon drop-off and pickup coming up. We're going to see the end of the line on the HUD coming up because we're going to be diverted into that area. And as we bring up the information, you see Wycon approaches where we're going. You can see Wycon approaches already on our HUD up ahead. And then Wycon 1 scale, you can see it up there as well. So I'm going to start applying the brakes as we get close to the Wycon reverse. We don't necessarily have to rush into this yard because we got lots of time for this particular stop. Yeah, for stop too, timetable point and stops beyond it. So I'm just letting the speed slower slightly at this point. Here's a good braking point. I'm going to put the reverser backwards for a moment just in case I need to slow down, apply a little speed to slow down in the other direction. This is one of the tricks I'm going to be using in this scenario. I may not need to here though. This is not something you would normally do in real life either. You could probably brake the engine this way, but you know what? This scenario is screwed up in terms of timing, so I'm going to take whatever advantage I can get. I think I'm going to be fine for 20. I don't know about 15. We have to be at 20 by the lunar red. We are going to be at 20 by the lunar red. I'm going to go ahead and put the reverser back into a forward position. At this point, I'm going to take the brake off. We're fine. So there's the train waiting for us. That is 5394 Auto Racks. He's waiting to take the track. I'm just going to keep the throttle going above 15 so we can get into the approach point. At that point, I'm going to let the throttle go slightly under 15 because then we can make sure we don't speed. We are good for our timing, so I'm going to stay in the 14 area right now. I'll let it go above 15, but I'm going to stay in the 14 range. I don't have to rush this particular stop because we're going to have to wait for some trains anyway. Though I do want to let these cars off and get to my actual stop ahead as quick as I can, just in case it triggers the train we have to wait for. Right at this point. So I'm going to apply brakes now. I'm going to keep the throttle going so I can quickly move into position. Once I'm fully on the track, we can go ahead. We are fully on the track. I'm going to take the throttle off. I'll put it in reverse. I'm going to use my little trick right now for the first time. Throttle in the reverse direction. And I'll let it slow down naturally from there. Let's uncouple all of those cars and move forward again. Out of my coupling view, and we're on. So you can see we're leaving those cars behind back there, which is exactly what we want to do. So as you can see, I'm doing some cheesing tricks here because I want to get this done as quickly as possible so we can try to do everything as fast as we need to. Need to get past this switch. Once again, once I'm past that switch, I can go ahead and do the same trick I did before. Okay, reverser down for a moment. And we're going to assist our stop here as I hit this. And there we go. I'm going to put the reverser back into forward because I'm going to use the downward momentum from our 1.0 gradient at this point. Should be very, very useful. Get ready to take it off here, and we should be able to go ahead now. Dispatch 7905 after coupling to the cars at Wycon Way at the exit signal for 52480 eastbound to pass, 5248. Contact me when you are ready, and I'll let you onto the main line to the reverse point. Roger. Gonna head over here. Some dirty, weird wood stuff here. I don't know what that is. Sewage. Beats me. I'm gonna hide that mission because I don't need that anymore. So there's the car I'm connecting to. If you had any doubt, by the way, that's the car I'm connecting to. You can see the 202210 is the first one on my list, so that is the right car. Gonna hide that now, and here we go. We're gonna position. So I'm getting out to get to about 10, 11, 12 miles per hour. Then I'm gonna start applying some forward momentum to slow me down. This is my way of backing into the cars at Wycon because this is a very, we're gonna be backing up anyway, so this is a good way to back up. While I'm doing this, by the way, let's make sure our switch is set for leaving. I'll do that right now. So the switch is ready to go. That way all I have to do is worry about the train. Increase in speed now. I'm coming in a lot faster than I intended, so I'm going to move that up to a quicker throttle. Now I'll release. Back on. Now I'm down to 2, so I'm going to make that a little down to 0 if I can. Here we go. I did not get a drive quality penalty, thank goodness there. I probably should have. Now I'm going to back into the car, apply the brakes. We're good for the time being. Can I stop, please? Thank you. Dude, brakes. Thank you very much. Alright, let's take a look at the train we're waiting for. I'm going to put the labels on so you can see it. So the train's coming down this track here. We can't leave until it comes down. It's far away, as you can see. In fact, it's not even in our grid yet. But it's going to be coming right about there right now. There it is. That's the guy we're waiting for. Label's not on for him yet. You can see a flashing yellow on the main track for some reason. That's our flashing yellow, I think. No, that's a different... Yeah, that's our flashing yellow later on. We'll see that later on. But you can see 52480 eastbound. So that is the train we're waiting for. Gonna try to give you guys a bit of a picture potential here, but I kind of got the wrong picture here. I didn't mean to go back as far as I did, so you're not going to get as good of a picture this time. You're going to get to see the guy who's at the yard. Let's actually try to cut him out. There we go. Cut him out. Building America. Let's hide you for a second. And after I give you guys a chance to get a screenshot here, I'm going to go ahead and start backing up. Now, strangely, the guy on the side that we're looking at right now on the train is not me. That's not the driver's seat. That's the emergency brake co-pilot seat. He doesn't really do anything except ride along as a passenger. Unless there's an emergency, in which case he can apply the emergency brake. I can show you that back in the cab in a moment in case I didn't show you that in the previous scenario yet. But for right now, we're going to be keeping an eye on the train coming up here. We don't see it yet. But you can see it just over in the distance right on the left right now. It's just barely coming into picture. There's your picture, guys. Alright. So I'm going to start backing up now since I know my track is good. I'm going to delete the brakes off. I'm just going to take it easy on backing up. I'm not going to go above 5 for right now because I have to take it easy or I'm going to bypass the signal a little early. I got about 2.5 minutes to wait for the signal. So we're going to actually keep it maybe down under 3 right now. There's no reason to go beyond 3 right now. A little lovely creaking noise. That's always a wonderful sound to hear. So now at 900ths of a mile from the signal. We got 2 minutes to go for signal clear. We have to request a pass, by the way. As you can see, we're denied right now. We are going to have to request a pass when we're ready. Since the train's clearing right now, we're ready, but it's not going to let us out anytime sooner, unfortunately. Whoa! Take the speed back off. There we go. Still 0.09. We've knocked off another 100th. A minute and a half to go to signal clear. A little more than that, actually. See if I can get both of my signal clearances figured out properly today. That'd be really nice. Okay, put a little speed back on because I'm going a little too fast at this point. Actually, that signal we're seeing on the is actually the switch signal. That's not the signal I should be worrying about. The one I should be worrying about is 1.5 tenths of a mile away. So I can actually speed up a little more. I'm good. Sometimes these switches will show up as signals on your path. Don't ask me why, but they do. That switch right there is marked as a signal. So we're on the junction right now. Gonna apply some speed because I'm going a little too fast now. Okay, I'm gonna watch the timing on the signal right now, and I should be good as soon as I get to 05. A little more on. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to request. Denied, denied, guys, 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 there it is, approved. Just as I got to it. Wow, that should have been gone before then. I don't know why it took so long. I don't know why it took so long. So I'm going to have to put a little bit of speed on to get into the back on the track quickly now. I'm going to move back to the front of the train as I just back up normally now. I'm going to use the engine forward momentum to maintain my speed coming back so I don't speed past 15 leaving here. This is how I do that. And once I actually am on the main track and pass the switch to change the track, on, thank you. Whoa, that was close. Once I'm past that switch, I'm going to apply the brakes. I'm going to keep that kind of pressure going so I can come to a stop. In fact, right now I'll apply the brakes. Good time to do so. And forward momentum. Tricks at work, ladies and gentlemen. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Keep the brake on for a moment. Let's go. Now notice I did not leave the signal block. I could have actually gone past the signal. I would have gotten the light to go ahead. But again, I would have lost a few more seconds on both parts of the travel by doing that. So I couldn't do that. I really couldn't do that. stop to make the Borie approach right now. This is not our timetable stop. As you can see, our timetable stop is actually right on the other track. And it's actually just to go via. We have a mile to go after our stop. So I want to try and go past our stop a little bit so we can get the back wheels of the back cars on the marker. That gives us the most time at the fastest speed possible. This is a bit of a challenging thing to do. So once again, I'm going to be trying to use my little trick here. This is going to be the last time I really need that trick, because I'm not going to come to a stop after that. So this is the last time I really need to use my trick. And if I can do this one properly, not only will it be the first time I get to Borie properly, but it'll be the first chance I have to get to Granite in a reasonable amount of time. Even my 1,000 point run, I actually was about a minute late in Granite. We're going to start lowering the throttle because I don't want to speed. Take it down to 50% for now. I am still increasing, which is fine. I'm going to hit a 1.5% gradient soon. I'm on a 1.0 right now. It looks like it's getting steeper just ahead, so I'm going to drop to 37 for a moment, but I am going to be increasing it back to 50 as soon as I reach that gradient. Looks like it's about 4 lifts away. 4 ticks away. Okay, back to 50 now. And I think the hill's going to catch me right now and make sure I don't gain too much. There we go. 1.3, 1.5. As advertised, I'm going to be stopped from increasing at a 50% throttle. That is fine. I don't need to increase. 55 is our limit. I'm going to pop it up to 62 for a moment, see what that does to our throttle. Oh, we're still holding steady. That's fine. You know what? I'll take that 0.3 loss on the miles. I don't mind that. That's acceptable. Though we are losing time on the ETA, I don't like that. So that flashing yellow you saw in the distance previously is going to show up for us now. See our marker ahead here, 1.22 away. There's our yellow. Not a flashing yellow, just a regular yellow. So the flashing yellow is for something else. Now we're going to be crossing a junction after that signal, so we are going to be down to 30, but we have a stop point before that. So I'm going to plan for the stop first. Coming under a road up here, not an interstate, just a road. I'll give you a quick look at it on the overhead map here. There it is. I'm going to lower the throttle gradually at this point so I don't have a problem with slowing down. I'm going to go at about 1/10 of a mile. I think that's the right spot to completely brake. So first brake right now. Now level 2 brake. Going to put the reverser into reverse in case I need to apply a little burst of power in the other direction. Otherwise we should be fine. Yeah, we're fine. I want to go a little bit further. They'll deal with it. That's a pretty good spot. It might be a few seconds late, but that's a pretty good spot. Gonna get ready to let the brakes off in a moment. I thought I was moving backwards for a second. That scared me. Okay, I'm gonna start letting the brakes off now, and let's get ourselves moving as soon as I'm able to. This is Dispatcher 7905. I'm putting you on track number 1 at Borie for the approach to Granite. Roger. You can see how long it takes the brakes to release, can't you? So I can go a little above 30 for right now, but I have to bring it down before the signal. So I'm going to lower the throttle here. I don't have far to go with the signal, so I'm just going to go ahead a little bit above, and then I'm going to let it drop. Actually, I can do a little bit more. Okay, let's let it drop now. Now I'm going to try to maintain. That's an increase, so I don't want to maintain at 25. I'm going to have to feather it between level 1 and level 2 throttle, it looks like, to maintain. I'm going to try to keep the speed above, or at the point just above 30, at least until we reach the marker point. The ETA says we're going to be a few seconds late, but the ETA is usually off anyway, so we might actually be on time, and this will be the first time I'm ever on time for it, if I make it. There's an SD70M waiting for us, 4931 eastbound. Give him a little hello. Make our point. Gonna move up to level 3 throttle now because I'm in a 55 now. I'm gonna actually move up to a full throttle. Here we go. We heard that train start up, so that was a sign that it's moving. We can speed up. Made it! Yes! That's the first time I've ever made that timing on time, ladies and gentlemen. We might have found the trick to the scenario here. Using the reverser in reverse. As a means of brake. Using the reverser as a means of brake might be our trick to the scenario. Now I should not have to apply that again unless I'm coming into the 45 limit too fast. I otherwise shouldn't have to apply that again. So I'm going to try to maintain speed properly the rest of the way. I didn't mean to do that. We have 55 limit, not 50. But we do have 45 coming up. So I'm going to have to take the throttle off the door. And you know what? I'm going to use the trick one more time to slow down. Because I think that's a good way to do it instead of letting air out of our brakes. I'm going to go ahead and use our trick one more time just to show it in action. Then you get to see an idea of how it works in these various points. So I'm going to continue up to 55. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the reverser into backwards about 0.3 of a mile from the signal, from the speed change. Throttle off at this point. let's go ahead and let's see what the natural drop-off does right now. Depending how much the natural drop-off goes, I may not need to use my trick. In fact, this is working very well, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply the throttle again to maintain for a moment. And I'm going to drop it off completely. Yeah, no tricks on this one. I'm down just in time, look at that. Just crossing the 45 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and go back into the maintain mode. Try to keep it at 45. I'm going to try and do it just above 45. I notice my arrival time at the next checkpoint is actually at 16:03. This is actually not ideal because we have to be at the next part at 16:04. So I'm trying to maintain as much speed just above the limit as I can to lose as little time as possible. As you can see, I'm still losing time. These timings are not properly done. We are fighting still a 1.5% gradient here, uphill. Now when we get to the next 55 speed limit marker, we're going to be turning off 2 signals later, so we're probably not, even if we get to 55, we're not going to be at 55 for very long, so we're going to be losing time in that entire zone for our destination time. We're going to have to take that into account when we get ready to turn into the yard. My only goal right now is to not speed at all. One speeding penalty and I'm cooked. Because it might be enough to, I might not be able to maintain the perfect score at Granite otherwise. 4779 eastbound. So something I said in the original recording of this scenario is I'm not trying to get a perfect score in every scenario. I don't care if I get a perfect score or not most of the time. But this one is so difficult, so pretty much impossible to do properly that it kind of pays to show you the tricks that help you do this. And those tricks are what could really make the difference here. They're things you should not do in real life. They're not realistic. They're things you have to figure out for yourself as you play the scenario. And as you can see, they're not realistic. What I'm doing is not something you do to a real train. You can break the train that way. This train you can't break unless you crash it, in which case your scenario ends anyway and you get it back later. But, because wrecked trains in this game don't stay permanently wrecked unlike in real life. But, yeah, in real life you would not do what I'm doing to this train right now. You would not be doing what I'm doing to this train. Because in real life, you're not going to get gold stars, you're not going to get career points, you're just going to be judged on whether you got there safely. And that's why the timings just don't make sense for some of these scenarios. Even some passenger ones I can have trouble with. Now, I should be fair, this trick is not going to be used in any of the other scenarios that I've already recorded coming up. So this is literally a re-record after I've done 4 routes worth of content. I haven't even released Suburban Glasgow at the time I'm recording this. I'm trying to get this scenario right because this is the last one I'm really having to finicky time with before I actually have Sherman Hill all ready to edit. So as long as this one works out, I've got Sherman Hill ready to go. And I I can start checking all my London to Brighton content. I already checked my Cahoon Pass content. It's all good. Did I say Cahoon Pass? Yeah, Cahoon Pass is one of the routes I'm going to be visiting. I'm also going to be looking at Donner Pass in the future. I'm going to be looking at Soldier Summit in the future. I'm going to be looking at other routes in the UK as well. Bruce, which used to be the Hagen-Sigan route. So all of these routes are going to be routes I'm releasing content for. I'm not going to tell you which one is next, though you can probably make a guess. I'm not going to tell you which one is next at this point. We are on a 55 now, so I'm going to speed up. But all those routes I named are routes that I plan to release in the near future. So keep an eye out for all those routes. And I actually have some of the Chris Trains vehicles, some of the stuff that he's made. There was a nice sale around Christmas on Just Trains. I picked up a bunch of them. I'm going to be showing off some of those trains using scenarios on routes like the Bruce route. Some of them are even show up on Oxford to Paddington as well, which is the Great Western Main Line, which I would love to see connected to suburban Glasgow someday so we can run the entire Argyle line. Forgive me being greedy, Ribbit Games. I want to see that. Yellow Lunar, so we're going to have to pull into the yard in a moment. We have to be down at 20 by the time we reach the Red Lunar. We know the next signal is a Red Lunar. So we have to be down to 20 miles per hour by the time we get to that Red Lunar. You see our turnoff is 2 miles, our point is beyond the signal, but it's 2 miles ahead. So yeah, half a mile after the signal. Let's do a preliminary slowdown to see what kind of speed we lose here. It's going off very quickly actually, so I'm going to keep the throttle on for a moment. So I'm going to take the throttle off, and I'm going to look at the map up ahead of the yard to show you the signals I need are set correctly. I'm going to be following the inside track, and that's the point I'm going to right there, on the inside loop. So if I'm not losing enough speed, I'm going to use my trick one more time. In fact, tell you what, let's do it now to show how it works again. Why not? This time I'm going to get down to the 20 in time at the signal. I'm ready to apply it again if I need to. One more train going by. I didn't see which one that was. Quick peek at the map. Tells you that it is 3875. I might be down, yeah, I'm going to be down at the signal in time, so I'm going to move the cursor back forward. I got 3 minutes to make it to the inner loop, so I'm okay. I might be okay here. I'm definitely down to 20, so I'm going to go ahead and jump the throttle up so I can get there in time. Red Lunar. I'm on a 0.0% gradient right now, which does not seem realistic for the area we're in, but apparently it is. So we're not going to be losing too much speed on this area, fortunately. But we are going to meet a gradient up ahead. You can see the slight dip in the track on our side, up ahead. But the ground will flatten out again after we get past that. It is literally flat in the yard, in the Granite area. Wow, that was an interesting bounce in the car. So at this point, it looks like I might be a little bit late for the timing at Granite. There's not really much you can do about that. The timings, like I said, are garbage. And I'm gaming this already as much as I can, and barely making it. So, like I said, the timings are garbage. Midnight Magnet is just as bad with the Laramie timing. Not going to make that up. I don't think they tested that one. No one checked that one, apparently. Take the throttle back off for a moment. We're on the 0.8, so I'm going to maintain throttle at level 1 until we get to about to the point that it flattens again, which should be momentarily. As you can see, our estimated arrival time is not for another minute and a half past the actual timing, which is bad for us. We're on flat ground right now, so we should not be losing too much speed at this point. My only goal for right now is to not speed. I do not want to speed. I'm trying to maintain that speed right above the 20.5 area. Give myself as much time as possible. Try to get some seconds back if I can. And once I get to the point, I'm going to let the speed just taper off because I don't need to worry about the timing after that. So as you can see, my timing says I have to be there at 16:04. I have up until 59 seconds. At that point, I'm late. So as of right now, I am late. So I'm just going to avoid speeding, make sure I keep as many of my points as I can, because I can lose 200 points and still get a perfect score. And I know that after we're past 1 minute late, you lose 2 points for every second. So that means that you have already, at that point, a minute and a half will lose you 180 points. That means you can be about 100 seconds late and still get a perfect score. But I think we're going to be within the minute, so we shouldn't be losing. We're only going to get 100 points anyway because we get a perfect run. But, so we're going to be fine here. This is going to be fine. We're good. So I was marked as being 49 seconds late, but I do have a perfect score, so I'm not going to be chancing anything here. You can see I got the perfect score. 1,000 points in the corner above where it says Outer Loop Collection. And these are the cars we're going to be picking up. Let's check our switch on the map, because now that I got a perfect score, I'm being very, very paranoid. That switch is correct for us. We're going to be switching it to here to actually couple in a moment. We need to make sure we have enough room to move beyond here, so I'm going to move to that track. And that one's still set for the exit. So we got lots of room to move at this point. I'm going to center back on me to see where we are. There we are. Like, as you can see, I'm just letting the speed taper off at this point. I'm not going to do anything with my speed at this point. I don't need to do anything with my speed at this point. When I get to the switch, I'm going to go ahead and detach from my train. I'm going to go ahead and watch the cars coming in at that point. Once they pass the switch completely, I will reverse the switch to the other direction. A couple workers in the yard. Basically, they're our helpers, I guess. Not really doing much to help. They're just staying in the middle of the area. They're chatting. Kind of ridiculous of them. So there's our switch. We're not going to hit this yet, even though we have the ability to. We're not going to hit it yet. That's a bad thing to do if we hit it right now. Bad thing to do. So I'm going to detach from that. And that icon does light up, so if I were to hit that, we would be derailing. If I hit it by accident, I derail. So let's watch the cars come by. I'm going to put the brakes on now, by the way. I'm going to move the mouse far away from there. So I'm going to keep the brakes on. I'm going to power through them if I'm not far enough. And there is no way I'm going to be far enough yet, so yeah. I'm just going to keep the throttle on for a moment so I can power through. And at this point I'm going to keep the brakes on because I'm going to use the reverse to power through the brakes. We're getting close to the point that we're going to be past the signal now, so I'm letting the speed completely off. Let's watch the point where the tracks meet, which is right here. We are now very clearly past that. I will now go ahead and hit the switch. And we're fine to reverse as soon as I come to a stop. Which I'm going to use my little trick one more time. Why not? Whee! There we go. I'm going to let it finish slowing down naturally at this point. Now I'm going to start actually backing up. I didn't want to have a lurch backwards, which is why I wanted to let it stop naturally. So let's move it just into reverse a little bit. Make sure it comes across the correct track, which is over here. I'm going to keep it going slowly until I confirm this. So down right now. And back up because I'm not going fast enough. I'm going to actually back up a little more here. So I should be veering to the right at this point. Yes, I am. So I'm going to head back to the cars now, which are over here. I'm going to watch the train come in. So what's in these cars? These are, looks like grain cars. Ah, bathe in the grain. We're bathing in the grain. Bathe in the grain. Oh, train coming. Excellent. Let's put a little more speed on for this purpose. Let's move to a point where I can actually see the coupling view. That would be very handy at this point. There we go. You can see the couple right there. I'm going to be changing the camera angle as we go here. Don't worry. So we're going 9 right now. I'm going to slow it down when we get to the point where the curve goes to the left on our screen. That's where I'm going to start slowing it down. Get it down to about 5 at that point, and then I'm going to readjust to watch the train come in and try to couple safely. All right, here's where we're going to slow down. As you see, I'm being just a little bit paranoid right now. Okay, slow down a little more, actually. Yeah, I want to slow down a little more. Thank you. Okay, level 1 throttle again. Okay, we're coming in again, so I'm going to zoom in. The car's just moved. That worries me. I swear the car's just moved. But we are connected. Nice job. These freight cars will run back to Cheyenne shortly. You have completed all that is required of you today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how to get a incident-free 1,000 points in Granite via Wycon. Again, we were 54 seconds late, but that timing is impossible. That timing is literally impossible. I still don't think Dovetail Games tested that properly. I think the Borie time needs to have 1 more minute added for realism, and we also need to have 2 minutes added to Granite also for realism. Because you're going to be driving safely, not trying to push beyond the speed limit the entire way. It's just not realistic. So hopefully that gets changed as a result of this video. That's really what should be happening, and I've proven why it should be happening. And it'd be nice if the game was properly set up for realism. What can you do, right? Anyway, you notice I didn't gain any experience. I already had my 1,000 points, so it doesn't matter. But what we're going to do in the next video, and I've already recut this one as well because I wasn't happy with my original recording of this one either. I actually went past the red signal, even though I still finished the scenario. With 1,000 points, I actually went past the signal, so I didn't want to keep that recording for obvious reasons. So we're going to go ahead and, you saw some London to Brighton scenarios there, by the way. So we're going to be going ahead. I didn't play all these standard ones, but we're going to be playing the career version of running number 3 track. And that is where the red signal I talked about. You're going to see what I mean. I'm going to be talking about that signal a couple times during the first part of the scenario. So you're going to see what I mean when I talk about a red signal. The question will be, did I stop before the signal? Did I make it on time? Did I get 1,000 points on this run? Stay tuned next time for Let's Play Train Simulator on with me, Cyclone, or Cyclone GU as the channel name is. And if you like what you saw here today, like the video, and make sure you subscribe to me. if you want to see more content like this, and why wouldn't you? I'm providing commentary, which is very rare on this game, apparently. And, yeah, that's all I have to say. Running number 3 track is next, Midnight Magnet follows, and then Arrival of the Thunderheads. I keep saying Thunderbirds, Thunderheads. Yeah, make sure you come back next time. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time for running number 3 track. I'm Cyclone. See you next time. Bye-bye.